We're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. What I want you to do today is we're going to just do a little quick lesson. I'm going to show you something that happened this week, and let's bring it in and we'll talk about it real quick. All right. We got good old Kenneth Copeland from the YSL trial. I just want to take about 2 minutes and listen to what he has to say.
You know what they did to me?
Tell us.
Tell us. After January 10th, people started shooting at me and my family. February, I went to jail for trying to protect me and my baby and my girl at the time. They put me in Rice Street on some stuff called medical flow. It's somewhere hid in the jail. It stink. It's crazy people there talking, yelling through the door, putting feces all on the window and on the wall. They locked me in the room. It's one door right here, it's one door right here, and it's another door back here, and it's another door back here. I'm behind this door. I don't see nobody, I don't talk to nobody, I'm by myself. I'm at the verge of losing my mind. People trying to shoot at me while they got me locked in this room. I can't talk to nobody, I can't see nobody, I'm locked in this room. They held me in that room for 3 weeks. I got out of jail. I had a court date for another county where I never even been to for some charges I never even did. I don't steal out of stores. I went down to that courthouse and tried to get it situated. Went in the wrong courtroom, told the deputy, hey, my name is such and such, such. I missed court. I'm here to fix it. He said, oh, I gave him my name, told him what happened. He said, oh, you got a warrant. And he locked me up. They put me right back in jail. I stayed in jail a whole month. I had to use the money for selling my four-wheeler to pay an attorney to come represent me. I got the lawyer to come represent me. That lawyer, he got me a bond. A friend of mine gave my baby mama the money to pay my bond. She paid my bond. I got out of jail. The very next day, Atlanta police came into the gym with a whole lot of them. They got me, said that this my bag, this my gun. They took me from my neighborhood to Turnerfield. They questioned me. I told them it wasn't my gun. They let me go. They came back and get me June 10th. They questioned me. I was at the verge of losing my mind because every time I come outside, they keep locking me up. They got me. They did it. They held me in the interrogation room for a whole day, probably. I don't know. They put me right back in Rice Street, put me right back behind all these doors. They constantly kept doing it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, at this point, like, man, I'm tired of keep reliving this stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm sitting right here. I got cramps, man. I got knots in my stomach, man. I haven't ate nothing. I tried to eat yesterday. I haven't ate today. Y'all sitting up here. I asked for a break. I asked. I'm in pain right now.
All right. No. And shout out to Kenneth Copeland. He's been on the stand. If you're familiar, of course, you know, he's been in the YSL trial. He's been one of the main witnesses for quite some time. What I also now want to bring in is I want to bring in some of the shenanigans that have been happening in the Fulton County Jail. You hear it called Rice Street. And I want to bring this in just so you can give you a chance to see what else is happening over there. And maybe you can kind of understand this gentleman's distress, why he sounds like he's about to cry, why he's in so much pain about the Fulton County Jail. I'm going to bring this in, let y'all hear it.
There was a third-party contractor, given that we have long since said the Fulton County Sheriff has been understaffed and underfunded, an opportunity for us to partner with the Board of Commissioners early last year and bring on a third-party contractor. Since then, given the funding deficit, our inability to, as a county, pay the actual past due expenses, the company made a decision, a decision in writing that they would pull out Friday. Unfortunately and regrettably, at around 2:15 today, company employees were told to vacate their jobs, abandon their position, and not to come in to work tonight. So we worked with our county manager, we worked with our chief human resource officer manager for the county, and we are available and are using our vacancies to actually hire those individuals. The last thing I wanted to do is have anybody be unemployed, be in a position where ultimately they are without a job. And so we've invited those individuals back in, and as one young lady, we met with them, one young lady just said, I'm grateful for the opportunity, couldn't afford to be unemployed, and we are focusing on hiring at a security officer specialist position, which is equivalent to what they actually left as after being told to leave. And essentially, because they're coming to work for the county, they will get a 10% pay increase as well as benefits. So I'll take any questions that you may have.
Sheriff, how much did the Sheriff's Office owe to this company?
So it's nearly $1 million that ultimately over 3 months that we actually, from the perspective of unfunded or being able to not fund that properly, we owed that, and obviously, like any good business, they wanted their money. What I found disingenuous, though, was during our conversations today, during negotiations today, they actually told their people to abandon their post. And so at that point, I found that disingenuous, and we found a way to move forward.
Sheriff, you that you did not plan on paying the excess of $1 million? And also, who does this fall on? Is it the sheriff's office or is it the county attorney?
So it's enough blame to go around, but ultimately, I believe people should get paid for what they have worked for. And so we will work diligently to make that happen. But ultimately, we have put ourselves in a position where we can create and maintain a safer environment by employing these individuals. And we want to create a safer employment opportunity for them, as well as those that we provide care and custody to.
How many employees did you hire back?
Right now, our target is nearly 50, specifically 47 that came in tonight. And that is understanding that the third-party contractor went from a buildup of 30 to almost 80-plus individuals, so that's nearly half. We have scheduled them accordingly so that we can possibly create the safest environment that we have.
Why were they not paid for the past 3 months?
The company itself, again, so this is a budgetary issue that we have continually fought for. And so we were not in a position, again, we talked about the historic underfunding of the sheriff's office, and that played a large part.
So if you're not able to pay them, no.
I understand that these employees, from talking to the CEO, that they were actually paid by this company, but the company was not receiving money from Fulton County. So essentially, these employees haven't been paid, but they're being paid by the company. The company is out over $1 million.
Well, the company has said they paid employees, but the meeting I just left, there were several employees, 10 or 15 employees that said last week, week before, these people didn't get a full paycheck. And so I'm happy to onboard them as Fulton County employees, because one thing that Fulton County does well is take care of its employees.
So if you haven't been able to pay them for the past 3 months because of budgetary concerns, but now you're hiring people with an increase in pay, how is the sheriff's department going to pay for them?
So there are two different buckets of money. And so ultimately, we're using our vacancies, as I've said, to really bring them on to a livable wage. Really, as I found out, it was heartbreaking to see that some of these folks weren't even making a livable wage. And so if you look at what the Board of Commissioners has done in a very positive manner, and that is creating employee opportunities where people are making in this case, $41,000.
But why couldn't this have been fixed before this? Because, I mean, if you had this pot of money over here that you're able to hire people with now with a pay increase, why did it get to this point where a company hasn't been paid nearly $1 million?
So again, there are two different buckets of money, right? One is contractual money. The other, what we're using, are monies that were gleaned from the vacancies. And so we're able to, because as we continuously hire, and we have done a great job, the women and men of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, every day they come into an environment where they have the hardest job, really in the state of Georgia, and ultimately should be paid accordingly. And so where we continuously recruit, we've recruited almost 750 people in the last 3 years, retention becomes an opportunity. And if you follow the Board of Commissioners, if you look at where we're not able to pay double time any longer, where overtime was cut, there are buckets of money that really lie in our vacancies. And so with the Board of Commissioners, or actually with our partners over at the county manager's office, again, the chief people person for the county, a sustainable way now for us to move forward.
Does Fulton County plan on paying this third-party company the millions of dollars that they are?
As I said earlier, I believe in paying for people the work they've done. And so contractually, we will get there. We just weren't going to be able to get there as quickly as they like.
Sure. The company has said they've been doing numerous calls, meetings with you guys, but you're telling us that you were in negotiations today when they made this call to have their employees walk off. But the company's saying that they've already...
Yeah, I can't comment on, again, the disingenuousness of what was happening. I know for a fact, me and my team were on the phone at 2:15 when they then actually called the Fulton County customer service line and told them that, one, they're telling people to leave at 5 o'clock today, and simultaneously, while on the phone with one of our chief people persons, told their people to leave. And in fact, people left. And so again, the last thing I want is for anybody to be unemployed. And so we have changed this into a positive. Ultimately, this has allowed us to bring more people on, allowed us to create a safer environment. And the people that are leaving today, if you stay long enough, you'll see an excited new Fulton County employee. So thank you all. I appreciate it.
Can you talk about the safety situation that created?
And just a correction, the message that the company sent to their employees, they sent a text message at 2:10 telling them to leave at 2:15. And so they started leaving at that
And
point.
then those people that were scheduled to come tonight, they simply don't come.
I just
Yes,
wanted to
exactly.
bring that in.
Thank you. I'm going to follow up with a written
Bird's
For
eye
the CEO says the talks have been going on.
what's been happening over here in Fulton County? Because Fulton County is it definitely is in need of some guidance, some direction, some better leadership, whatever like that. We're going to end with how Kenneth Copeland ended his testimony before Brian Steele on this past week. Bring Kenneth back in. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's finish this up.
I understand it might be my fault. I'm telling y'all, I made it up. I lied. Damn, man. This is crazy. I'm telling y'all, my stomach hurting, man.
Well, with the honorable court's order, we're going to be leaving in a little bit of time. Can you try to just listen to the JW 240EE that I just said? If you need it, could you put in your earphone if you don't mind?
I can hear it.
Okay.
When you think about
I
how
hate jail. I hate jail, man. I be damn on this nigga. He said, wait, man, when he try to kill me and my child, bro. I ain't, and then he come out kill me, bro. This, never do.
Mr. Copeland, with your background and your experiences in jail, is it fair to say that you would do anything not to go to jail? Mr. Copeland, can I ask you a couple of questions?
I'm listening.
Okay. For people who've never been to prison or jail, do you know the difference, by the way?
Y'all know the difference.
Objection around relevance. Sustained.
Whether it's a prison or jail, is it fair to say that
Rice Street is not either one. There's not prison or jail. I don't know what that place is. This is the worst place in the world.
do you remember being in custody after Friday, June 7th, 2024, after the first time you testified before the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and before you came back in the late morning of Monday, June 10th, 2024? Do you remember where you were held?
You talking about they locked me up here?
Yes, sir.
What about it?
Do you remember where were you held in the Fulton County jail, another jail? Do you remember?
When they took me out of here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where were you held?
They took me to Rice Street, and then the next day came, they took me from Rice Street to DeKalb County Jail, and they down there just as worse as Rice Street.
And DeKalb County Jail, describe to the ladies and gentlemen jury what it was like when you were in that jail.
Objection, relevant, Your Honor.
Goes to his motivation for testifying here.
I don't know that we need to get that far afield. He's already told us that Rice Street is horrible. It's the worst place in the world, and DeKalb is even worse. So let's move on.
I just wanted to give us a little high view of some of the things that we've heard this week about the jail, the motivation that Woody had or Kenneth Copeland had to testify or not want to be there, why he didn't want to be there. And then when we see how poorly run Fulton County Jail is, they're struggling. Good leadership or not, they definitely need some guidance and some direction. They need an audit. They need to do some purging, if you will. And I thought this was a really, really interesting conversation. So I just want to drop that on y'all. I appreciate you checking it out. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.